Ball first and 10 at the 12-yard line of the Seahawks. Sean goes right, has a cutback lane, and he does. He's across the 20, the 25, 30, 35, 40. Here he goes. Are they going to catch him? 40, 35, 30. Touchdown, Seahawks! 12, they're bringing the trophy home. Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champions. Holy catfish! Baldwin's going to throw back to Russell. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks! Are you kidding me?
Let's Hawk It Out with your hosts Kevin Porter and Rich Harris.
And we are back for a brand new episode of Let's Hawk It Out. Of course, I'm Kevin Porter, but most importantly, I'm joined by Rich Harris. What's up, dude?
What's happening, Kevin? Excited to be here as always. Ready to discuss a very great game. A win for that matter, right?
Holy shit, Rich Harris, 19-9. Your Seattle Seahawks came out winners, are now standing at 3-3, and I think we're tied for top in the NFC West at the moment here. I don't have the standings in front of me, but I feel like we are right in the mix.
Yeah, from what I understand, technically we're all in first place. There might be somebody might have the edge if it came to a tiebreaker or something. It's too early in the season for that, but we're all 3-3 except for the Cardinals. They're 2-4 now. So yeah, there might be the Niners might be listed at the top because maybe they have a better division record. But at the end of the day, we're all basically us three: the Rams, Niners, and Seahawks are all tied for first at this moment.
True that, dude. I mean, San Francisco has beaten us, and they beat the crap out of the LA Rams on that Sunday night football game a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Yep, exactly. So but you know what? I think it's their time to start showing what their true colors are. Those Niners and those Rams as well. And speaking of true colors, look at those Seahawks. I mean, you're gonna find out. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about what the real deal would come through when the real season came upon us, and we would answer all those questions we talked about in the preseason and whatnot, like the what ifs and what do you think, or will we, or what if Gino, and now we're in that real time, we're in those real scenarios, and I think things are looking good. So yeah, we're showing our true colors as well. So it's nice to still be in a really competitive division, and it's nice to be pleasantly surprised by our team and how well they're doing.
Well, just remember the LA Rams have yellow in their jerseys, along also with the San Francisco 49ers have gold, which is pretty close to yellow. So that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into the Seattle Seahawks win at home yesterday. We both had different perspectives of this game here. Me sitting on my couch, checking it out live. Well, actually, I watched it on demand. I had it on DVR. But immediately, just coming out of the game, what are your immediate reactions in regards to yesterday's performance?
Oh man, I mean, overall, great. I mean, it was one of those really exciting games to be at. It's a division rival, so you're already expecting that it's going to be an exciting game. Initially when the game first started, and I'm trying to nickname Kyler Murray, and I here just before we got started, I come up with. Do you remember Speedy Gonzalez? Yeah. Cartoon, yeah. I mean, because he just runs, but his legs move so fast, right? And it's almost like they're a blur. And I got a slow FPS rate on my TV apparently because, his legs are like a blur when he's running across the field. It's just like he takes these little tiny steps, but he moves really fast, and he loves to go lateral. And he's really talented at that, but it was a little scary at first when he took off and had those runs. And I was thinking, there's our porous office again. There's that Swiss cheese I was talking about with all those holes. Yeah, that's
what I was thinking too. I was remembering back to our conversation last week.
It kind of sticks in your head, and you're going, let's just close up some of those holes and get it back to the cheddar that we're speaking about, right? And overall, the defense finally started to come through, and that cohesion's coming through. And it was impressive to see him without that big cheddar block we're talking about, Mr. Big Al Woods. He was out, and they still managed to really get to the quarterback a lot and shut down. I think they were starting to set the edge a little and shutting down him and his little Speedy Gonzalez ass trying to get out of there. We started picking up on that, and once that happens, he was more of a one-dimensional player. So, exciting once we figured out what they were doing and how to shut it down. You could see it developing and happening, and then it just started making sense from there.
Well, I mean, just like you said, dude, the amount of sacks that we had yesterday, that was impressive, dude. I mean, all in all, the Cardinals, they had 5 sacks, but we had 6. So I feel like we won the day there, definitely, in terms of getting, I mean, just the fact that, I mean, it was a battle. I mean, even though the fact that we had 19, it was 19-9. I mean, if you're just looking at the score, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, well, Seahawks kind of ran away with it. But I mean, when you break it down, you know, quarter by quarter, I mean, we went into the second quarter tied 3-3. And then we got what, 2 more field goals during that time frame. So it was a battle of field goals by the time we're going into halftime. And it wasn't even until we got to the third or the fourth quarter where we even scored a touchdown. We got 7 points, dude. So, I mean, it could have gone either way, but at the same time, dude, it was nice to see that the Seahawks pulled off the win there. And I mean, going back to just Kyler Murray, man, I mean, I was looking at his stats here, dude. Dude got 100 yards. Dude, he ran for 100 yards yesterday. Geno, though, put up 48, though, dude. I feel like Geno Smith went out there and had times that, you know, where we weren't, again, it was kind of a battle of defenses, so it wasn't necessarily getting down the field as much as we would like to see him do, but nonetheless, though, I mean, definitely wasn't his best performance, but at the same time, dude, I mean, he went 197 yards, was averaging, again, 6.4 yards per. He actually had no touchdown, apparently, because, you know, we talked about, you know, the only touchdown we scored, and that goes to our boy Kenneth Walker III, getting his second touchdown of the season, first in at home. And yeah, man, what are your thoughts of Kenneth Walker? I mean, balling out, dude, after you know, our forget his guy. Who's the other running back's name?
Yeah,
it's not Carson, is it? Who is it?
No, Penny.
Yeah, dude, with him going out last week, man, I mean, damn, dude, he came and played yesterday, that's for sure. 97 yards.
And remember what we were talking about, his nickname, you know, he's number 9, right? So his nickname is K9. You know, for Kenneth 9.
I like it.
He likes to go by Ken, and I know the announcer's still calling him Kenneth. He's listed as Kenneth, but you know, I remember his interview with I think
we
it was
did talk
Team
about
5.
that preseason.
Yep. And remember how I described him?
Yeah.
Jukes and jock straps, right? Because that guy's got the jukes to shake people out of their jock straps.
Yeah.
And you see those little jukes and those little stutter steps and those little lateral movements. That's what he's known for as well, but more of a just get out of my way, or whoop, like psych, right? And then he just takes off. And when he does take off, he's got some burst speed and he's got some top out speed as well. So yeah, very fun to watch him. Very fun. K9. Love him.
I'm definitely, just within the last couple games, man, he's definitely he's shown signs of improvement with each game. I felt there was positive growth with each performance, and you know, seeing him start yesterday for the first time, you know, again, he's a rookie, right? He's part of our rookie class coming out, and I felt like all those rookies had really good games yesterday. Like what's his name? Off the top of my head here, who's the cornerback that got the 4? Tyreek Woolen.
Yeah, correct.
Woolen? Dude, 4 interceptions. Like, he's matching up with Richard Sherman during his you know.
They announced that at the game. They announced it like the announcers that announced stuff at the game. They actually announced it to the crowd. That set, like, and that's kind of rare when they do that. But I remember them announcing that it tied a Richard Sherman record or beat a Richard Sherman rookie record or something. And he's already in the conversation for defensive rookie of the year. Wow. And I think that's league wide, you know, because look at the guy. I mean, and then Kobe Bryant, he was everywhere, and we always keep saying Kobe Bryant's everywhere. Yeah. And like Tariq Woolen is a blanket, you know, so it's just, and those guys, and talk about rookies again, this does feel like 2012. These rookies are solid. Abe and Charles Cross are holding the bookends of the offensive line, letting Geno do the pocket thing. When we get our sacks, speaking of those sacks we were talking about, it's usually Geno's run down. He's ran out of time, but he's done his job and stayed in that pocket.
Right.
And there was times that one time when you've seen him break, when he does make a decision, he makes it now and he acts.
He's really quick about that.
Yes, and when he took off that one time and got that first down, man, that, I don't know if you guys heard it on TV, but it was Geno, and we've heard it or heard about it before. I was there, dude. It was amazing, and I know Geno had to feel that vibe because it was the whole 12s just Geno, and I was like, man, that's definitely building his confidence, and good for him, right? But yeah, that was great, and I think that a lot of the guys in the stands some people were saying, or like, you know, when you hear chatter standing in a line somewhere, they were like, early in the game, I wish the defense I wish the defense would show up in the same game as the offense, and then it was like, it just kept ringing in the back of my head as that defense started getting better and better. And those sacks that we got, they came in the right moments, because those were the moments where they mattered the most. It seemed like when they were trying a fourth down, or when they were trying something and they thought they were going to try to get cocky with us. Yeah. And then we just not only stopped them, but stopped them in a big fashion with just pulling them back a couple of times, I think, where we got them out of field goal range and they had to punt it.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about, dude, how many times did the Cardinals go for it on fourth and short, dude? And they messed it up every single time, dude. I don't think they got it once.
Yeah, and how are you going to go fourth and short, even when there's I think there was 5 or 6 minutes left? They weren't that far behind. Maybe they were just gauging it off how they were scoring so far, or lack of scoring. But really, if you give it up on that side of the field, it's almost like they were almost like still going for fourth down where we could be in field goal range type stuff. Right? Where they're at that our half of the field, they're not even close to the 50-yard line. They're on like the 35 or something. So all we got to do is get the ball moving a little bit. We might even be able to get a field goal if we can capitalize. So yeah, those decisions are pretty extreme for the coaching standpoint, especially when it was just a field goal game. Their touchdown was a fluke. I don't know what Michael Dixon's thinking, but maybe we didn't see it correctly. Maybe he just merely did not have any time, or maybe there was people in his face and it was legit this time. But I think we're a little bit gun shy on Michael Dixon because of last week. So I would sit there
negative 10 yards from yesterday, dude.
Dude, and a touchdown out of it too.
He lost that touchdown.
That's how they got those 6 points. So, but anyway, yeah, it was scary at first to see the run allowed and all that, and then we started to have some blown coverages again, and then it just all that stuff seemed to tighten up. So that was very impressive to see that defense start to get that cohesion like we're looking for.
Yeah, again, we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, just how the defense just was not doing its thing. Like you said, we need that cheddar cheese, man. We need it to be a cheddar. We need that cheddar. But it felt really good watching the Cardinals, which, again, the Cardinals have been on the up and up the last couple of years. They've been a team on the rise. So, usually, again, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but historically, dude, we always trade wins with the Cardinals. It's usually we get a win down there in Arizona and they get a win up here in Seattle. But it wasn't the case this year. We still have a couple weeks out before we go back and play in Arizona on the road. But damn, dude, I was just, that defensive performance yesterday, I was thoroughly impressed with it. I hope that's a sign of what's to come down the road, as like you said, as we get into the real season here in the NFL. I really feel like now we're kind of past we're in week 6. Was this week 6 yet? This week, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're a month and a half in. We're gonna see either you're there or you're not there, and I think yesterday was a positive sign for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard about Bruce Irvin coming and being a part of the team again, but we signed him to the practice squad, which just means that we've got him in the building now. Yeah, so that's a good thing. It's just like KJ Wright talks about. I listened to his little show there on the 710 Seattle Sports. KJ Wright's on there on Wednesdays. I think it's at 9:00. It's about an hour worth of KJ talking to Brock and Salk, and KJ's got some knowledge. He's going to give you some inside scoop of what it's like in the locker room for a little bit, where he can. He's classy about it and stuff. But at the end of the day, he's got. I forget where I was going on that particular subject, but he's got it. He's got it down packed. If you wanted to get some inside scoop on KJ and some of the things that go down on the VMAC, I forgot where I was going with that, so that's my bad.
Well, you're talking about Bruce Irvin. They signed him to the practice squad.
Yeah. He's in the building, and KJ talks about that all the time. Just sign me as a player, just so I can go in there and mentor. Yeah. And I don't know if Bruce rubbed off on him this quickly, because he's going to go in there, and everybody knows who Bruce Irvin is. He was part of the Seahawks, the Super Bowl team and everything. Bruce Irvin. So if he goes in there and starts having that locker room presence, and he's a defensive guy too, he might even get in there and start playing soon. You'll probably see him in there, because we had some problems with the pass rush. What's Bruce Irvin known for? Being a good pass rusher. So maybe he came in there and just started getting into people's heads. That's very possible. So
I think it's such an awesome thing that they're getting all these, especially, we saw them all obviously during the first game against the Broncos, but when they have a Richard Sherman out there, and they have Doug Baldwin showing up, and just all these old Seahawks legends at this point now, and it's To me, I love that, dude. There's a reason I never got rid of my Richard Sherman jersey or my Earl Thomas jersey. Hopefully one day he comes back. I don't know what's up with that guy. But I mean, man, people are going to always look back on that era, the Seattle Seahawks, your KJ Wrights, your Bruce Irvins, it was such nostalgia, obviously, man, for good reason. But speaking of Seahawks legends, I mean, you were obviously in attendance for Sean Alexander being inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Seattle Seahawks, which is, rightfully deserved, long overdue in my opinion.
Yeah, that's always neat. And it was the side that we sat on is where it was. So all we could see was the big sheet drop down, so we couldn't really see. It's, if you're facing the right direction, you'll see it up there covered because there's a new big plaque, flag, whatever they call them. They're big. And, but yeah, it was interesting. I was actually watching it on the screen more because I had to get down there and get us some food of some sort. Yeah. And then you never know what you're going to get with those lines, but they do have at the snack, if you've never been there, they have a lot of screens. They have radio feed in the bathroom, so if you're going to the bathroom you can hear like Steve Reibel giving you the play-by-play. That's so awesome. And then and then in those concessions there's usually screens as well. Not all, you may not have a view all the time, but there's usually about 3 or 4 screens if there's about 6 lines. So you can keep going, and there's audio all out there on the concession deck. So I could hear what was going on, and you can hear the halftime show. Mm-hmm. But you're also navigating people bumping into you and stuff, and you're trying to make sure you're
47,000 people there,
keeping your place in line and trying to get some food and bring it back, before the half starts and stuff. So, but yeah, no, it's always nice to be at an event like that and be there and present for a Ring of Honor induction. Definitely.
I was able to see them do that for Lou Piniella one year when I think we were playing the Milwaukee Brewers or something, but I think they retired his name over at the time Safeco. So yeah, those moments are very special when you're actually able to be in attendance for it and whatnot. But yeah, I need to go back. I didn't watch it because obviously it was they streamed it on their YouTube page. I need to go back and see what he said, but
yeah, on the subject, we were present at Edgar Martinez when he got inducted to the Ring of Honor there, and we got the little plaque and everything to show for it. Nice. We actually got on video that day too, so my wife and I were on TV for about 15 seconds.
Oh, wow.
The Edgar Martinez one, yeah, and that's where he walked out from center field and everything and had the ceremony, and then they pulled the sheet off of his plaque out there next to Jackie Robinson. So yeah, those are great moments. And even though I didn't get to watch what was happening on the field, I was taking care of me and my wife by getting some food for our stomachs, and all that good stuff, and which you have to do. You have to step away at some point, and actually we're learning a little bit more about it too. Going more often, you're going to try to be more strategic. So now we got that nice, really clear bag and all that. So we're going to start doing Ziplocs of beef jerky and this and that, right? So we can maybe sit tight.
Oh,
I'd have to go get out of the line and jump over people and shit, and maybe just sit tight and be able to have some nutrition to just get through the ball game. Good seats and everything. So you want to just get there and sit tight if you can.
That's right, dude. I mean, yeah, like we were saying, to the amount of people. I've only been to one Seahawks game. And it was a Monday night game against the Saints. It was the year that we broke the sound barrier record or whatever. The year we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
dude. I getting up, I was all the way near the top. I was almost near the top and having to go back and down forth. I think I went down one time to get food, and that was it, dude. Because you want to limit that amount of walking.
Oh yeah, if you're up there in the double alphabets,
it was in the double alphabets.
The double alphabet, right?
Yeah.
We were our very first game. We were in row PP, and I didn't really know what that meant until my wife was punching me and saying, "You're going to get everything from here. I ain't moving." I was like, "Got it."
You're up there. You're so high.
You're like climbing the stairs like it's going into the attic. When you drop down those stairs. Yeah. That you have in a crawl space, and they're really steep, so you're basically, it's almost like a ladder, but it's steps in between, right? Yeah, because if you fall, what are you going to do? You're going to tumble like a bowling ball down there. That's what I worry about. I haven't seen anybody do it yet, but it's so steep. Really, if you trip, who's going to stop you? Probably some other fans.
You always hear every once in a while where somebody gets pretty messed up at a sporting event, falling out of the stage and doing something stupid.
Yeah, I see so many people messed up that I'm surprised it doesn't happen more, because, and speaking of that really briefly, I don't understand why people go there and spend such high dollar on alcohol is so expensive, and I've done it, but why get so blurred out that you're not even going to witness a game that's in person and the atmosphere and everything? Because I see people just stumbling around, look like they're having a bad day, like, oh, I'm fucked up. I'm like looking at them, I'm like, how much have you spent today? And are you going to remember this tomorrow? Like, oh, I went to the game. How was it? Oh, no fucking no.
I was wasted, but I recorded it on my TV set, so I watched it back this morning.
I was there, though.
Amazing.
That's what they want to talk about. They were there.
Yeah.
But going back to the game, from what I understand, there was no turnovers on offense. Did we not have any turnovers at all?
I don't think so.
All right.
I didn't take a look really quick. Yeah. I no. Well, besides the one not on offense. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Nothing on offense. And we were besides the sacks.
We were stopping the run without Big Al, which was impressive. I mean, it doesn't mean, obviously, he's not the only reason why we can stop the run, which is refreshing. That's great. He is a big part of it. I mean, we're always talking about how two guys have to cover Big Al. So one guy can eat up two guys. That leaves room, for other guys to help, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, Coach was making the crowd go nuts, like telling him to throw the flag. And when he was in the ref's face, man, that's so fun. The crowd is just so behind Coach, man. That was another in-person thing that I was seeing, the chemistry of that. Even, I don't know what TV is showing when, but we could sit there and watch Coach in their face, and his not temper, but just, his reactions and stuff. And they're genuine, and he's passionate, his passion. So, yeah. Those are kind of some of the things that I want to mention real quick too. Is Blitz brought out this big cannon looking thing, and I thought it was a t-shirt cannon or something, right? And then it came up on the screens, and it was called the Bratzuka. I didn't really know what that meant. I mean, a brat, a brat, whatever, right. Bratzuka.
Some hot dogs, some Oktoberfest hot dogs.
I don't know. It was nuts, this thing, and then all of a sudden they were loading it up, and he was just getting people's attention, and then he just started shooting them out towards the Hawk's Nest. And it was just, how you wrap them when they get a hot dog, like at Costco, for example, and they wrap it up in that foil kind of wrap, put a tape on it or whatever. Yeah. Well, I'm sure these were probably double wrapped or whatever, to protect them a little bit more, but they were the same, just the sleeved hot dog, right? Like in the wrap, just up to the crowd like t-shirts. And I swear to God, dude, it sent about 30 of them in about 30, not even 30 seconds, like 15 seconds. And then they had to reload it real quick. And all this is happening when you guys are at commercial and they're doing the little timeout stuff to keep the crowd entertained. Pretty cool. My wife really liked that. She was like, can they reach up here if they pointed it up here? I'm like, nah, probably not to the 300, but it was still fun to watch. And man, I'd love to get a brat for free, just have a brat land in your lap and you just open that sucker up and start, I mean, best game day experience you could have, right?
Dude, totally.
They shoot a hot dog to you, you start munching on it. Come on.
Y'all yell down at Blitz. You're like, yo, let me get some ketchup. Let me get some
That's right. Who knows? They might have had some of that.
Onions.
I thought about that. They might have had a couple of packets wrapped in there, right? They had to have.
They get a couple of PAs there. Like, all right, you see where that goes, dude. Then you bring your condiment trays out there. You got to, provide these people some
I have a feeling they just wrapped it into those little wrapped up hot dogs. Probably just had a couple of packets of ketchup in there as well.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, on the inside of it is like, yeah, that makes sense, dude. Well, Rich, I'm glad to hear that you had a real awesome, positive experience there at up in Seattle at the stadium. As we move forward, next week we will be on the road, I believe, if I'm correct. We're playing down in Los Angeles, the first of 2 times this season, it looks like, playing down there at SoFi Stadium, but we're playing the Los Angeles Chargers, 1:25 kickoff local time here in Washington State. I'm trying to bring up, because as we're recording, we have Monday Night Football that's currently ongoing, so it's the Denver Broncos against the Los Angeles Chargers here. I'm trying to get like a live update on this one here, but I'm kind of failing.
Yeah, I was checking that out before we got started here, and there was only a couple of seconds left at the time that I was looking at it here. But
good news, actually, breaking news here, ladies and gentlemen. The Chargers have beaten the Denver Broncos 19-16 here. So Russell Wilson falling to the Los Angeles Chargers, which is ultimately a good news for us Seahawks fans here who want the Broncos to lose as many games as they can so we can secure the number 1 pick in the NFL draft come this spring.
That's right.
All right, man. Any final thoughts before we get out of here today?
No, I'm good. I think I'm just excited for the team to move forward, and I'm excited to continue to discuss what our observations are and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, otherwise, we'll just look forward to doing it again next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin Porter for Rich Harris. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
I gotta ask you a question. Can you win a game in the first quarter? No! Can you win the game in the second quarter? No! Can you win the game in the third quarter? No! Can you win the game in the fourth quarter?